All right, good morning. Welcome to Champions Mill outside of Cincinnati. We got stop 2 of the boys Midwest Power Series, or Point Series, I guess I should say, and more importantly, maybe the first competition of the 2026 season. We're underway. The Dirty Ace. The boys are the 1 seed today, so we're in the pool and overall actually. So we are running the traditional 1 seed schedule, playing at 8, 10, and 1. 3 games on tap. A little bit of a tight court layout here, so we're on the opposite side, so our boys are on the far side. Hopefully Huddle's gonna be able to deal with that. If not, I'll be up all night editing video. We are in Spooky Nook. Love the name of that. It is the town that AT&T cell service forgot, so we are super excited to be rolling out our new state-of-the-art T-Mobile hotspot. Right now using that for have some chatter coming in over the radar range for our YouTube live stream. There's a block out of bounds. All right, that'll make it 2 serving 4 here in the early games. Make it 5-2, a little discombobulated. Another dirty, oh no, nice job, Jakai, getting that one up off the floor, and Josh hammers that off the block. C2 attack within 2 at 3, serving 5. Colin, nice serve. And a nice dig. Opportunity here for C2. Jakai takes full advantage. Rips that down the line. 4 serving 5. C2 within 1. All right, we're in the Nook this weekend. Big tournament next week out in Phoenix. The USAV Conclave. USAV kind of fallen out of favor in the boys' ranks. They've pulled together a bit of a miracle and getting a lot of the best teams together for early year battle in the desert. Should be a good one. All right, 6 serving 4, Cincy attack. Back to serve. Okay, nice pass. Since we're in the far court, recommending you watch this one on the big screen. Throw that up on the living room telly. Enjoy all the action. Probably nice up. Gonna be a free ball opportunity here for Cincy attack. They fail to miss. That one's long. Point C2 attack. It's a battle of the attacks. Oh, nice swing, but that is straight into the block and back down. Nice job. C2 on the block there. There's a dig and almost a dill, but it carries just a bit long. Point Cincy attack. They go up by 3, 9-6. Nice pass, a little bit of a communication. Oh, but all's well that ends well, as that is hammered down. Started out with a little bit of a bobble there. It looked like we were on not on the same page, setter and hitter. But Cincy surrendered the 3 ball, and it was hammered down by Rory. All right, nice block recycle coming. Briley, a little off speed over the top. Thought it was in anyway, but off the block touch at the net for the score. In any case, C2 attack within 1 at 8-9. For reasons that are not entirely clear, our Huddle live stream is not up. Could be the cell service levels here. We're only banging the YouTube stream out on the Wi-Fi. So apologies to anyone who was trying to tune in on that and not have the broadcast. Jakai just misses that one long. We had a trio of C2 guys out in Manhattan just after Christmas for beach and TDP, and Colin actually doing the hybrid beach and indoor. Jakai and Briley both at the beach, so that's some nice games there. That one had to make sure that one wasn't going to bounce off the wall and into the camera rig, because that one went on past. All right. C2 within 1 at 9-10. Got to say the weather in SoCal was amazing. Nice up. Off the candy cane. Point C2. Net violation there on the joust. A backwards joust between Briley and the It was a setter in the middle for C2. Anyway, it went our way. They ended up in the net like a big tuna. Puritans now fighting for the lead. That one just wide. Point Cincy, they go up by 1. Nice serve, but Takai with a great pass out to Riley, who just hammers that through the block. Made no pretense of trialing the tool. Just said, I'm banging this down, and there's little you can do about it. Pair of 11s. Back row swing, that's off the blocker and out of play. Nice job there. Cincy retakes the lead. They're up 1 at 12-11. Off the block, Collins there. Back row for Takai. Ooh, called out. I'm not saying I disagree. I am saying I'm watching the replay, though. And, well, the replay proves inconclusive as I was zoomed in too far. Dang it. Hate it when that happens. Okay. All right, Riley drills that one cross court to deep corner for the score. He'll go back to serve, trailing by 1 at 12-13. Got some fellow Louisvillians on the adjoining court, the 502 Union Volleyball Club here. See that Logan is unavailable for action today, so I hope for a speedy recovery with whatever is ailing him. Gosh. Banging it down. Nicely done. The Blonde Bomber. Tied at 13. He kicks and fires. Oh, nice serve, but a great up. Was wicked with pace and movement. Back row swing for Riley. That's off the block, off the defender, and in. So choose your poison. Like a three-way beam since we're in the Cincinnati area. We'll do some skyline after this. Chilly. 14 serving 13. Seems like we got chilly weather on the way. With our brief respite of, I don't know if that's false spring or Indian summer. Indian fall, whatever we've been enjoying. I wish it would stay. That is chundered is the only word I can think of for that. Well, out of play. I don't think that was ever over inbounds airspace at any point in time. Anyway, C2 has come from behind at least 3 at one point, now lead by 2, and Cincy Attack would like to discuss possible options for thwarting the C2 juggernaut, who was slow to awaken but has been on point in the last series or 2. All right, the Blonde Bomber steps in. He's been serving back there since the latter days of the Clinton administration. Rips another one and a dirty ace. We did come prepared with all the toys today, pulling out all the stops for this one. Just a bit outside. Be a 4-point lead for C2. Briley still kicking it from the service line. May have to ice his shoulder between sets. If this rampage continues on much longer, takes a little off, and by a little, I mean like 98%, puts that into the net, just as I was talking about a long service run. More reliable at jinxing than the SI cover. 14-17. Tit for tat. Old expression about that is anyway, we're not going to go there. 3-minute clean early. Colin back to serve. Oh man, if he missed it, it was by microns. And I'm zoomed too closely again to see that back line, so I cannot opine one way or the other. 15 serving 18 now. Jakai with the set me pass, but pushes that a bit wide. 16-18. That one was not a bit wide. Jakai hammers that down into the middle. Well, if you do have the opportunity to come to Skookie Nook, by all means stay at the Champions Mill or the Warehouse Hotel. It is conveniently located just meters from the courts. Loving that place. Back row swing. Riley releases the Kraken, but the lib for C2 has the answer. Oh, the tip, the cunning. Josh, nicely done. Crafty. 2016. Jakai with the block. Looked like an eclipse. He totally went up and over and blocked out the sun and all available airspace. 21-16 now. That's chundered into a net. Timeout was not terribly effective for Cincy. 22-16. Nice swing, chests Riley, but call it a dig as I think he just couldn't get out of the way. That was going to be out by a yard, I think. But Jakai with a nice heads-up play keeps it alive, and yeah, and C2 gets the point. And that was a fun one. All right, Josh Paulette back to serve. Down the line. Off the block and out of play, points Cincy attack there at 17-23. I wore my black and red Sin City beach volleyball hoodie just to confuse the opposition. I'm not quite sure who I'm with. Into the net, point C2 there, 1 point away from grabbing a stranglehold on this match and taking set one. Jakai, nice serve to get up. Off the block, Colin keeps that alive. Josh Paulette does the necessary, hammers that down, and set one goes to C2, 25-17. Again, Cincy attack looked like they were up for the challenge in the early going. It was a bit of a knife fight. C2 fell behind by as many as 3 at least before they came storming back. It was storming, I tell you. All right. Set will be getting underway imminently. Excuse me. Name any names, but somebody might have run off with an SD card in their camera. Quick trip to the hotel room will fix that. And it'll also give us an opportunity to reload on some coffee. Okay. We're back underway. Okay, able to sneak that one through. Is off the block and out of play. I thought that one was going to be out by a couple of yards, and it just dropped precipitously and landed right in there. I guess C2 passing crew's not much the same. That was a nice serve. That might hit the nets on the fly. Josh, nice swing down the line, but it's wide. And Cincy attack once more out to an early lead. Overhand pass. That's blocked back and in. Thought that was gonna land this long, but it's not. In fact, lands in the back court. Point for C2 attack, or Cincy attack, I have to say. These attacks, they unnerve me. Anyway, they lead 4-1. Colin, nice pass. Blocked back, Riley gives chase, bicycle kick coming, and a second. But alas, his soccer skills looking a bit rusty on both. Valiant effort, though. Riley surveys the scene and decides for the shorty overset. Finds the floor. Point C2 attack. They trail by 3 at 2-5, and LeBron Bomber back to serve. He went on a rampage in set 1. Wouldn't mind seeing a repeat performance here. Let's go right about now. Nice low swing off the blocker. That makes it 6-4, rather 6-2, since the attack lead at 4. Parker, nice swing out of the middle. Chops that down. Colin will serve, trailing by 3. Triple block. Recycle coming. I guess it wasn't really a recycle. Nice swing, Josh. What a good up. Rory out of the middle for the boom. 4-6. Seems the attack coming up with some scrappy defense from time to time. And they hold a 2-point lead at the moment. That is off the candy cane. Point Cincy, the lead is 3 at 7-4. Five-8 now, that's 2. The Bureau for Cincy attack opens up and lets that sail pass and is rewarded as the ball lands just long. 9-5, 4-point Cincy attack lead. Big rip out of the middle for Rory. Live for Cincy, gets a piece of it, but that won't be enough. 6-9. Chicago. Nice up by Rory out of the net. And a flail. And C2 gets a freebie there. trims the lead to 2. Jakai still kicking from the service line. Well, that one's into the net, though. Lead back to 3, 10-7. The lid for Cincy will serve it. Looks like bad hand contact there. That one also into the net. C2 gets the point. Roy serving at 8-10. Jakai steps in like the 7-foot libero. He is. I think that was a late breaking double call, maybe. And by late breaking, I mean there were 2 contacts before the whistle went and the hand went up. I guess he was replaying it in his mind over and over. 11-8. Just a bit outside. 9-11. Setter Josh back to serve. Let's hit. We underestimated the sneakiness. 3-point lead, Cincy attack at 12-9. At the Bradley, Oppo swing down the line is hammered. Off a defender and into the upper deck, rattling the cages of the video cognoscenti. Not to mention the Illuminati. 10 serving 12 now, the Blonde Bomber. He kicks and fires. Right at the lib, who has a nice pass. Middle, that's swatted back off the shoulder of the would-be blocker into the floor. C2 within 1 at 11-12. Double called there. Block that got recycled by Jakai there also. Bradley serving at 12-12. Looked good until it didn't. Rip down the line, but alas, failed to meet the minimum height requirements. Cincy back to serve, up by 1 at 13-12. Kind of floated and floated. Collins stayed with it though. Jakai off the block. Back row push. That's kept alive. Nice job by Josh taking that set and moving it out to Jakai on the far side. Who does the necessary, tidies that up, and we're tied at 13. Colin back to serve. Colin with the kick save, but no chase for the third contact to ladle it over. Since he attacked it by 1, 14-13. Off the block, and Cincy blocker's got a little tangled up there. An ankle tweak, but appears to be no worse for wear. Number 9 for Cincy attack. We're tied at 14. Josh P. back to serve. or Lefty Josh, as he's known in the Western world. Nice block there. Rory got the most of that, 15-14. C2 has taken the lead. Takai was going for the wipe, turned into a tip, which turned into a block down the road. All right. 2-point lead now for C2 at 16-14, and what is turning out to be a carbon copy of set one. C2 got out, or rather, Cincy Attack got out to an early lead. This one led by as many as 4, I believe, before C2 reeled them back in. They've now surged ahead by 2, and Cincy Attack has called timeout. So, do not check your television. This is not a replay of set one. It's just unfolding much the same way as foretold by the prophecy. C2 by 2, Josh P. back to serve. Back row swing, Collins steps in and says, I got that. Recycle. More recycle. Not just recycling, we're upcycling, dang it. Riley with the back row tip, had to change course there, and a nice job. Triple block goes up and tips right over the top of it, lands it at about the 9-foot line for the point. Three-point lead now for C2. Somewhere between a throw and a swing. That's chundered into the middle of the net, and Cincy Attack will call in some reserves as they trail by 4, 14-18, and a couple substitutions coming into the game. Josh P. still working for the service line. Tight, but not too tight. He tried to get there with the flipper or the pancake, maybe the flip cake. Would that be a flapjack? Anyway, it looked like he kind of lost traction too, so. A confabulation of contortionism. 15 serving 18. Off the block for the score, 19-15 now. Sure was touched in the net, but was touched by Takai in the backcourt. Point Cincy. They'll serve trailing by 3, 16-19. Net serve. 4-point lead for C2. Serving at 20-16 is Rory. Cincy Attack, a nice swing, sort of almost like a back row reverse slide or some funkiness going on there. He wasn't really back row, he just started there with the pass, but nonetheless, the plan was thwarted by C2, and that will prompt another timeout for Cincy Attack. Can't take him with you. Nor save them for the next match. So, we got a TO on the floor. All right, C2 ambling back onto the court. Cincy sachets out of their huddle. Rory serving at 22-16. Nice serve it is. That's tight. Briley cleans it up. Two-hand wipe to the sideline for the score as the overpass is harvested. That one fails to miss. 17-22. Tuberculosis clearing right up though. Riley hammers that down. Extends the C2 lead to 23-17. There he is. And just a bit long. Coach Solomon from A2 in the house. Getting ready to embark on our European adventure with Sallow and the A2 Cats. All right, match point is at hand. Briley back to serve it. The Blonde Bomber. Looking to rip an ace. Nice serve, ripped down the line and through the net, but good pass by Cincy Attack. They kept that alive out to Jakai off the block. Kept alive. It'll be a free ball. Should be an opportunity here. That's out to Jakai. He reloads, but that's chundered just a bit outside. Looks like he didn't get the wristy snappy on that he wanted. Cincy Attack survives to play another point. They'll serve at 19-24. Back row swing for Briley, exclamation point ending to the opening match here with Cincy Attack. That'll do it. C2 and 2 will be back. 10 o'clock scheduled start time for match 2. We'll see you then, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Blonde Bomber Sports Network. C2 Attack with the win over Cincy Attack. The battle of the attacks goes to C2.